Hey guys, Kansas97 Stone 171. We are back again with ATS, continuing our journey. Figured I'd use the opening credit there as a way to sort of intro the video. Don't always remember to do that. Done it a couple of times and think it's a kind of a cool way to start the video since I don't have my own intro, which I need to work on. I already have us set up with a load. Hopefully it doesn't just screw this up. I found a load going from Phoenix to Van Horn, Texas. We've been working our way kind of in a circular loop back towards the Dallas area where we will build another new truck. And then we're going to do some grain hauling up in Iowa, I believe. Or may try Illinois. I don't know. I'll do some research. We'll have to make that a separate video because we'll have a few trips to get to Dallas, at least one more after this. May put them together because going across Texas doesn't take that long. I haven't hooked to it because it's only it's across the street basically from.
Get the job done, eh?
It's across the street from where we're. I love how it squeaks as it comes to a stop. That's pretty funny. What the hell? What is going on there? Why are my buttons fucked up? Oh my god. Why is it always something? Actually, all the buttons are fucked up. Like, that's not right. Why is it? Why is that why is that changed to a different button? This button's wrong too. It should be. That should take me to inside view. Oh my god. Why? I didn't do anything different. Well, let me just try quitting the game and coming back in, guys. That's really weird. This is why people play console games. I love PC. I love the graphics. I love all the flexibility, and it's freaking annoying sometimes. I don't understand why that happened. That both of those buttons got remapped. That's in the options control section of the game. Why would that do that? Yep, it's still fucked up. Why? Everything else works. Those buttons are all the same. Okay, fuck me. Sorry about the cussing. That shit like that pisses me off. Why would that change? The only thing different is I hooked up. I don't know if I told you I'm getting into drone flying, and I got my radio transmitter, plugged it into the computer, and it's set up as a gamepad. But it's not plugged in right now. Why would that? And why would that change? Where the hell is the camera control? Yeah, interior camera. Top hat switch. Okay. So why is that not working? How? Oh my god. Well, guys, this might be a short stream. It's set correctly. I don't... And the head tracking is working. Why? Is that not working? Well, guys, this might be a short stream, and I'll just come back to you when I get it fixed, because until I get it fixed, I can't drive. It's set to the correct button. And that is going to the wrong... Wait. That's why. Okay, guys. Now I figured it out. Somehow the head tracking got screwed up to be looking like that. And it wasn't centered. God, what a weird thing to have happen. Alright. Put that over there.
Let's do this.
Well, that was a really strange... was a really strange thing to have happen there. It's weird. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Go straight up. Turn right. It's all over now.
There's our load right there. 16,000 pounds going to Van Horn. It's the only one I could find going to Van Horn. And, hey, Pepito, how you doing? Yeah, it just started. I had a weird camera glitch there, or I thought I did. But it's all working now. So we're going to grab this light load. Not too much, just started. We're still in Phoenix. We're about to take it to take this load to Van Horn. That was a shit backup, let me tell you. Yep, used to be. Not anymore. He asked if I was a truck driver in real life, and I was. About 10 years. But I also haven't driven in about 12. Oh, yeah. I do, I have another driving job, but it's not truck driving anymore.
Turn right. Get ready to turn right. Turn right.
I've considered getting back into it, but I'd have to go back to CDL school and get my license again. And I just don't know that I want to do it. I've talked to a lot of truck drivers, and I don't know. All the things I disliked about truck driving seemingly have only gotten worse since I left the industry.
To turn left.
Oh, I don't know. Finding places to park, dealing with DOT.
Turn left.
I think if I could find the right gig, you know, the right trucking job, it would be probably great. But the general haul freight, you know, in a box trailer, I don't know. Not really what I want to do. Yeah, I posted a lot of videos when I was a truck driver. You can go back and look at them if you want. They're all in low resolution because that's what was available at the time. I was one of the first truck drivers to do kind of trucking vlogs. It's pretty popular now, but when I did it, I don't think anybody else was doing it. I put a GoPro on a ball cap, and you got to see point of view. And basically, I just yapped about whatever was going on in my life and the world and news and stuff like that. It, you know, there was not a term called a vlog at the time, but that's what it would have been. You gotta watch this curve right here in Phoenix. It's a sharper curve than you expect it to be. And then I had some really cool unloading videos. Yep, it's the same Freightliner FLD right now. We're going to drive this all the way across until we get to Dallas. And then I think we're going to build a another new truck. And we're going to do some grain hauling up in the Iowa, Illinois area. Do something a little different. And then after we do that, we'll actually drive that Volvo VNL that we built a while back. I just started, so I'll probably be here at least an hour. It's my off day. It's my off day from driving, and here I am driving. It's kind of ridiculous. Won't be that interesting. I mean, running across Texas is easy, which I'm kind of in the mood for right now. I'm a little tired, but not tired enough to sleep. So a lot of my trucking career I did dry pneumatic tanker, and if you go back through my YouTube channel, you can search for Michigan City unloading, and I do a
Keep left.
pretty detailed. You know, you're there with me when I'm unloading a trailer. Also did a few backup videos that were pretty cool. That place, Michigan City, was a pain in the ass to get a trailer into, and so I had my hat cam, used another cell phone for an external view, and then put a GoPro on the back of the trailer, so I had 3 camera views all going at the same time. That's a cool one. I hated going to that place. It was a pain in the ass. You've never seen an off-road in the game, in ATS. There's some places where you drive on a dirt road, like to get to and from a shipper or receiver, but that's about it. They might add it eventually, because they're talking about they're going to be offering some cars. They've partnered with Ford, I think, so you'll be able to drive like a Mustang GT, a Ford F-150 on the road, and just sort of explore around the country in a car. It's not available yet, but you can go on their Steam page, and they have some descriptions about what they're going to do. So maybe they'll add some off-roading, you know, at some point. If you're interested in that kind of thing, you might look at a game called Beam NG Drive. It's also on Steam. There's all kinds of cars, and there's all kinds of downloadable content, off-road maps, and you can do some pretty gnarly stuff. And that one you can play with a Xbox controller pretty easy. All right, guys, I got to turn the volume down on the engine. Can't hear myself. I would love to know why when I up and down the volume on my headset that it wigs out the frame rate. That is such a strange behavior. This is also another steep curve. Yeah, it'll be an optional thing that you can do.
Go straight up.
Yeah, I mean it's the maps that they've created in the game are pretty extensive, and some of them are not easy to explore in a truck. So I think the idea is they just want to let you kind of drive around in a smaller vehicle, explore more areas. I don't know whether it's going to be like an add-on to the game or a separate game, or I'm not really sure what they're going to do. People have been asking for it. That's the reason they're doing it. I think it's just the attraction of the fact that it's one of the largest road map games I can think of that are like actual scale models of the real roads. You know, when you drive through cities, you see the things that are actually in that city. And in some of the newer maps, like Illinois, they've gone to a lot more detail in the city areas. Yeah, maps are sold in the game. So when you download the game, you get California, Arizona, and another map that comes with the game. And then each of the states are a separate map you can download. They're not free. They range between $5 and $17. The one I just got, Iowa, I think was $15. But they go on sale a lot of times, especially the older maps. They'll pop up for sale or in bundles for $5 or something. And then you just download it. I mean, Steam makes it real easy. You just download the content, it links it into the game, and it just merges it all together. But you can tell the difference. If you look at some of the older maps like California, the roads were more blocky, and like when you exited a curve, there were it was more like a bunch of straight lines. You notice this a lot in European Truck Simulator, because that's even older, where the curves are not actually curves, they're just a sequence of straight lines. And in the newer maps, visually they look a little different. They've gone back and redone them, so California doesn't look as bad as it used to, because they've kind of done some repairing. But there's much more detail in the new maps. And I've noticed when I drove around in Iowa, when they first offered Iowa, the frame rates are significantly lower when you're driving along in Iowa, because there's just way more rendering detail that has to be done. Yeah, if you go to the Steam page, you can see all the lists for they have maps and cargo packs and paint jobs, and there's also a lot of free stuff too, though. You go to the workshop, and there's content created by other people that you can download, and it automatically links into the game and pops it in as a mod that you can activate. Hello, Mr. State Patrol Officer. Mr. Smokey Bear there. Yeah, some of the trucks you can change the interior to different seat materials. You know, cloth, leather, and there's even some different styles. But there's nothing, you can't individually go in and do stuff. It's whatever happens to be available in that particular truck. I don't think this truck had any interior options. Like the Kenworth W900. That one has a bunch of different seating options, but there's 8 to choose from. You can't go in and change the color of the interior other than what is offered, unfortunately. Boy, that almost looks like snow, doesn't it? Let's see if they pull us into the way station. I can bypass. Yeah, and remember, this is a mod truck, so it was created by someone. So the options to change things in the game are sometimes limited by the creator, whoever created it. either offered more options or less. I have no idea how they create the trucks. There's got to be some editing process, or I don't know. I'd love to learn or see how they do that. Yeah, this is a mod truck. This is not available in the game. It's the Freightliner FLD. You can find it in the Steam Workshop. You don't have to do anything special or go outside of the game, the Steam area. You just look up Freightliner FLD. I think it's made by Harvin. He makes quite a few trucks. And you just hit subscribe, and it imports it into the game and becomes available in the list of mods. You click on it, add it to your list of active mods, and then the truck shows up as available for purchase in the game. It's pretty easy. The Z mod engines, that is an external website, so you got to create an account. You got to pay them. You download the content. You got to manually move the files into the correct folder on your computer, and then they become available as an option. So it's kind of a mix. Yeah, you got to be careful with that. I think I have mine maxed out now. I've done some custom configurations on the config file. Some stuff you can change inside the game, just in the graphics options, but you can go in and edit your config file and change some things. And I've kind of got it optimized for what I can do. Yeah, sometimes in the distance you'll see it draw, like right there, out in the far, those hills out there will just sort of pop into existence. It just depends on your graphics card, how much RAM you've got, and also this game is running on a pretty old graphics engine, so there's some limitations there too. Also, I'm running in 1440. You can run it in 4K, but actually there's two options between 1440 and 4K that you can pick. But if I jump up to 4K, it takes too much of a frame hit, and this ended up being the best compromise for me. And I've got an AMD card, which is not ideal for the game. I think it's a little more tuned for NVIDIA. Problem is, I'm not willing to spend the kind of money that would be required to make a significant difference. It's just too much money right now. Graphics card prices are through the roof. No, I've just got the cruise control set to that. You gotta be a little careful. No, this truck will probably run over 100 miles an hour. But you gotta be careful, because you come around a corner and you crash, and then you gotta reload from a previous save point. And also the cargo can be damaged. And then you take a financial penalty for damaging the cargo. Yeah. Speed limit down there says, actually you can't see that because this camera here that you're seeing here is overlaying the GPS map. Give me a second now. I'll show you. So if I turn that off, no, that didn't work. No. All that did was pause it. It didn't. Oh, there it goes. Now it came back. There's a GPS that you cannot see because it's behind where my steering wheel camera is showing. It's got the speed limit in this area and what you've got your speed set to. they're just, it's too expensive. I mean, I looked into, I just went into ChatGPT and asked, ATS max graphics 4K, what graphics card do I need, or what would work best, and it comes back, and the answer is it's a $1,500 or $2,000 card. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. I paid $300 for this graphics card. It works good enough. There's a balance point between. We're coming into El Paso here. So that thing there on the right is actually a miner's pick. The Chihuahuas, that's UTEP right there on the left. And the Chihuahua miners, like coal miners, except it's not coal. The miners are the name of the team. So you'll see a lot of people driving around with little emblems of pickaxes on their car to support the team. But all the things you see here are actually in the city. So we're coming into downtown here. Those little arches on the overpasses light up at night. So these are the kind of details that the company does. The little aqua, the little mountains drawn on the side there are actually there. The team that makes this game, they do a good job of putting the details inside the cities. So Juarez is right over there to the right. This is the 54 exchange right here. Once we get to the other side of El Paso here, the speed limit jumps up to 85, I think. We can run faster. Turbines there on Airport Drive are actually there.
Keep left.
Once we get outside the city here, I'll put the pedal to the metal and we'll see what the truck can actually do speed-wise. Dude, get the hell out of the way. By the way, don't run this close to another car at this speed. Don't do this in real life. In a turn. If that guy in front of us would jam on his brakes, it would be all over. Come on, dude, get the hell out of the left lane. Checkpoint right here. It's never open in the game. But there's one of these on the eastern side of El Paso, and on the western side, and also going north. Basically all the major highways out of the city. Thank you for getting out of the way, finally. And we're only 17 miles to our delivery, so... I think we'd get to 100 miles an hour if we had enough room, but we're getting off right here.
Right. Keep left and then turn left. Turn left. Go straight on. Turn left. Go straight on. Turn left. Fine. You're hit.
Yeah, exactly. But keep in mind, if you wanted to get into this game, you know, you do not need to max out the graphics. You can play it perfectly fine in 1080p. I did forever. You can use an Xbox controller. I did that forever. You don't have to have the head tracking to make that work, especially if you're using a controller, because you just use the right stick to look left and right, and then you got throttle, brake, and I forget what the left one was for. I don't remember now. I ran this game on an NVIDIA 770, which is like a 14-year-old card. 4 gigs of RAM. It'll play. What you got to do is back off like your look. If you look at your mirrors, the mirror detail is a big GPU hit, and it isn't that important really. Especially you have mirror distance, mirror detail. That's a big hit on the game because it has to redraw and recalculate what's behind you. That's why I don't run the front mirrors on the hood, because again, that's extra GPU, and it doesn't really add anything in the game to help you out. But yeah, you can certainly run on way less PC. In fact, you could probably buy one of those mini PCs that have like the AMD. You get the little mini PCs. The game would probably run on that just fine in 1080p. So you could certainly get into the game for less money. And like I said, come on, take a fucking gear. Boy, that is a tricky spot. We're gonna have to hate when it can't make up its mind on the damn gear like that. It keeps going from one to the other. It's really freaking annoying. I'm going to go external view for this. And if you've got a console right now, SCS they're going to be doing a console version of this game too. Don't know what the timetable is, but probably won't be able to do as many of the cool mods and things, you know, would be my guess. Generally those, oh, I waited too long to straighten up. Oh. Good enough. No. You cannot park in reverse with a double trailer. And you really can't do that in real life either. There are some types of doubles that once the two trailers are basically straight, there's a way that they can be locked together so that they don't end up pivoting like this as you're backing up. But yeah, most people that run doubles, that's not what you're going to do. You got to pull through. And you'll see in the game when we got to the next level. When you're pulling a double trailer, that it'll only offer you a pull through option. However, I've never gotten here. There is a option for that. It'll say I can do anything, and it'll be like 250 XP. I've seen people back up trailers in real life that way. It definitely takes a huge amount of skill because you're looking at the trailer in the back, but then you also got the dolly pivot point, and then you got the pivot point behind your truck. So it can be done, but it is definitely professional trucker level. And I've never pulled doubles in real life. I never pulled doubles. I only did dry van. I did flatbed one time, and most of my career was pneumatic tanker. So let's see what's available from here in Van Horn. That's going. Oh, there's one going to. Oh, that's going up north. This is what I ran into the last time. Was that I couldn't find any freight going across Texas. There's a little short one. It's going back. Wow, that's so weird. I guess we could take that. Okay, guys. Well, I need to take a bathroom break. I need to figure out what we're going to do next. I'd really like to find one that's going all the way to Dallas, something longer, because this is a nice long stretch. But in Texas, from here to here, won't take us that long, actually. No, I don't think no. If you crash, um, it'll show damage to the truck in the statistics of the truck, but it doesn't actually show like damaged quarter panels or anything like that. No. BeamNG Drive does that. So if you're into that kind of thing, I would look at BeamNG Drive. That's a fun game. A lot of huge amount of customizations and downloadable maps and off road. You were talking about off roading before. There's a bunch of great off road maps in BeamNG Drive, and that you can play with an Xbox controller. You can do it with a steering wheel too, but honestly, it's kind of a pain in the butt. Yeah, so if you like being able to crash stuff, and you can go on YouTube, there's a bunch of people that do videos on BeamNG Drive. You can see if you'd be interested in that. That's a fun game. Also runs on a kind of an old graphics engine though. Um, it's called Beam NG Drive because it uses beams in the graphics engine to like make connection points or something. Occasionally, if you do something really weird, you'll actually see the beams like stretch out between parts when there's a glitch. Um, but there's a bunch of stuff. And with that game, there's another game that links into it called Automation. It's a car company game, so the actual part of the game, the point of the game is to build a car company, and you can a lot of details in the you can design the engines, the body panel. You can do all kinds of stuff in that. But the cool thing is it exports into BeamNG Drive, so you can build a car in Automation and then drive it in BeamNG Drive. The one thing that does not transfer over very well is like when you crash, the quarter panels don't really bend correctly, um, where the ones that come with the game do. So that's a fun game. I play that usually, and there's challenges and actual games you can play in the game, but a lot of times I just go in there. It's just a crash fest. It's like ooh, jump off the bridge and crash, and um, it's kind of fun. It's more of a lighthearted game. All right, guys, I'm going to take a break. We're at 48 minutes. I will be back at Pepito. I'm going to take a bathroom break, and then I need to figure out. I may maybe take a sleep break, and then we'll figure out what our next load is going to be, and I'll put it in, and I'll be right back here in a little bit. But I need to take a break for a minute and get this sorted out. And rather than try to do that on camera, I think I'll just end the stream and be right back in a little bit. So with that, I will see you guys in a few minutes when I get this all sorted out, and I'll be right back. Have a good one, guys. Be safe out there, and have a good day.